Hello, Quantum Leap callers. Happy Thursday. I'm super excited to leave you a message today. It's Krystal, Downey-Shada, and my message is about procrastination. It's interesting that has come up because I found myself procrastinating yesterday and even a little bit today. And as I was reviewing that, it's so funny how we can have requests that serve us just as much as they do someone else. And the topic of the request for our Wild Wednesday live feed into our Facebook group was procrastination. And, of course, I laughed because I thought, they must have been watching me. They must have known that I was doing that myself. Anyway, so here's some thoughts about procrastination and managing ourselves when it comes to that. One, first we get to be really excited that we have the awareness of it and we're noticing that we're doing it, because how many times do we do things that we don't even notice? And if we don't notice we're doing it or have an awareness about it, we can't change it. So yay, that's first, an awareness, a notice. However, a notice or an awareness without action on it just has us feel worse. So the next piece is having an understanding of it can support and taking action on it. The understanding of it is sometimes helpful to have an awareness about what is driving that behavior. Is it perfection? And I can speak to that as a currently recovering perfectionist, that's an ongoing process to manage or to deal with it. Something will not be right enough or done well enough. So if I just don't start it, I can be avoidant in that way. Oftentimes, procrastination is driven by fear. It's a fear that it won't be enough, or the deeper cut on that is maybe that means I'm not enough. And so the avoidance is a way of managing the fear. Many of us know, if we've studied the fear process for very long, that there's a fight, flight, or freeze response, and avoidance is a part of that. It's a part of those responses to fear. So what am I afraid of? And get real with yourself. What are you really afraid of? Because the more accurate and specific and deepest cut you can take with it, the more information that gives you to manage it. It's not required. You can just choose to take action and make a different choice. And having an understanding about it can be helpful. However, there's a little bit of a trap in that, because if we spend our time trying to understand it and analyze ourselves as to what this is about, that can be another form of procrastination. So be aware of that. The next piece is what is the next step? It was really interesting. I did a call for Nia Putnam and a few of her directors and their people at the beginning of January. And she asked some questions, and that's kind of the format of it. It was really great. However, I was sick that day, so I didn't really feel like I was on my feet at how I wasn't thinking on my feet as well as maybe I could have or should have. But one of the questions was so great that she asked is, when we find ourselves overwhelmed, when I find myself overwhelmed, what do I do? How do I manage that? That's my version of her question, but essentially that's what she was asking. What do I do? And because I was not thinking on my feet, because I had been sick and all of the things, so I wasn't really on it, I had to think about, when have been the times that I've been overwhelmed? And how did I manage that? How did I step through that? And what I realized is that how I do that is how I've managed many things in my life, no matter how big it is, how overwhelming it is, how much I may be procrastinating it. What is my next best step is the question that I ask myself. I can do all of these things, or I can think about all of this and how big it is or whatever, but what is my next best step? And then take action on that. And I would also encourage you that as you are walking yourself through this and taking that next best step, whatever it is, there's some of the administrative work of my Mary Kay that I don't love. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's administrative work. It's stuff I could delegate to somebody else, but I haven't. And so I just keep doing it and I'm annoyed with myself that I do and find myself procrastinating doing it. And so I get to pause and say, okay, what's my next best step? Well, my next best step is to print off the labels. Great. Next best step, gather the lookbooks, gather the information that goes, the little envelopes that go, gather it all together so it's all ready to go, and all I have to do is put it together. Now I've made one step, and I celebrate the fact that I made one step. And I know that may sound cheesy or whatever that sounds like, I don't know, but celebrating steps in the process is vital. And rewarding yourself. Say, done good girl. Okay, I did a great job. I did the next step. Now, what is my next best step? And we don't go to the next best step until we celebrate and say, done good girl on the step that we're on. Here's a piece, and I heard this recently, and it was related to something else, but it was so powerful. I thought, where are all of the places we can use this? So I would invite you to, when you find yourself procrastinating and what it feels like to put things off, what it feels like to not do it at the end of the day, when you're really beating yourself up and it's too late to get on the phone to do the booking calls, or whatever the situation may be that you have procrastinated, journal and write down about the awfulness of what it feels like. Because it does feel awful. We're beating ourselves up. I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Oh my gosh. We even say things like, I suck, right? We say terrible things about ourselves. We feel terrible things about ourselves. Journal it. Write it down. How do I feel in this moment? Then, when you do the thing and you feel the victory and you celebrate it, write that down. What it feels like in your body to have done the thing you said you were going to do, not with any of the parameters that we can put on. Yeah, but I didn't do it when I coulda, shoulda, woulda, all of those things. Just what does it feel like that I did the thing I said I was going to do, and it feels good that I did. Write both of those down. Keep those journal entries. Like if you have it in a journal, dog ear it so you can come back to it. And then when you're finding yourself procrastinating, notice which feeling do I want to have? The one I'm having about putting it off, or the feeling that I could feel if I actually do it? Which one do I want? And that can be a support in your own words for what's available to you. In that. And then you can refer back to it. And as I often will come back to, the most important part of this procrastination process, or maybe not the most important part, but certainly a big factor in it is, why does it matter to me that I do the thing I'm doing? What is it why does this matter to me? So, as an example, there are things that I may procrastinate in my life, but I choose to do them because I have an understanding as to why it matters to me to do it. So I walk every day. I used to run, had an injury, I don't run anymore, but I walk. I need to get my body moving. I'm committed to getting my body moving. It's more difficult in the wintertime because it's dark at 5 o'clock and I don't like to walk after dark. And so if I procrastinate at all, it doesn't happen. It gets to happen earlier in the day. And so I'm really getting to look at that procrastination piece. In the summertime, I can put it off until 8 o'clock at night, 8:30. Sometimes in the middle of summer, even I can put it off until 9 o'clock at night. But I can't do that in the wintertime if I want to walk in the daytime, in the daylight. And so why does it matter to me that I walk? Well, for the longest time, for me, walking was getting my body moving. It was for my physical health. It was a weight management process, but then also a health management process. So there was lots of different physical reasons that I was doing it. But now I'm walking for my mental health, which means I not only need to walk, it's more important to walk, but now I'm even walking differently, because now when I walk, it's about a quiet time. It's about a stillness in my mind. It's about noticing my surroundings and just being fully present in the moment of it, while also physically moving my body. So it's both mental and physical, like it's never been before. So I have this deepened clarity on why it matters to me that must happen, even if it's raining, even if it's cold, even if I have a Zoom call, which means I'm going to have to come back in and fix my face and fix my hair before the Zoom call because it will have gotten messed up out in the weather, if you will. But why does it matter to me? And so that's the piece that I think is having clarity around that and keeping that up in front of me of why does that matter to me is vital. And is an important part of this process. So those are my thoughts on procrastination. By the way, if you find yourself procrastinating, take a deep breath. Welcome to being human. It is not something to beat yourself up about, but it is something that we get to manage. It's an opportunity for us to learn and grow and manage ourselves differently. So please don't take this as I'm a terrible human being because I do this. No, you are a human being and you do this. And so now how do you want to manage it differently such that you are supported in it? And you are supporting yourself through it to create new and different habits for yourself. All right. Have the most amazing day. Hugs to you. Bye-bye.